Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
The Catchalorette and friends want to acknowledge that this podcast is recorded and edited on the stolen lands of the Kaurna and Peramunk peoples. We wish to pay and give respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples, past, present and emerging. Sovereignty was never ceded, always was, always will be Aboriginal land.
The Catchalorette
and friends.
From first love to happy ever after.
What's that?
From dating to dick pics.
Oh my. Oh no!
The Catchalorette and friends. Oh, I love a good dick. Hello and welcome to the Catchalorette and friends. I'm Carla, Anita, Matiazzo. And today on the pod, I have Isaac, Peter Compton. Thanks for coming on the pod, Isaac.
Thank you for having me, you lovely old.
Tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm a musician, a deadly musician. I'm self-proclaimed comedian. I think I'm pretty funny, and thank you for that. And I'm, I don't know, I guess I'm just a lovely cunt.
Yes, this is very true. This is very true. I want to start at your first crush. Can you remember your first crush? The story around that.
My first crush. Yes, I can. Her name was Sarah Snelling. Not Smelling, Snelling. I still remember to this day. I actually found her on Facebook and Instagram recently too.
Oh.
Funnily enough. No, we didn't connect.
Oh.
We didn't connect. I didn't reach out. No, she lives in WA. This was back in Perth when we lived there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she was this blonde-haired, blue-eyed little girl. And we were in year 5 to year 7 together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And she was like my official first girlfriend.
Oh, so how did that all happen? Did you ask her out? What was the situation there?
Oh, I definitely asked her out. She was also like a foot taller than me. Because I didn't have my growth spurt till I got to like 20. I was like 4.5 foot for most of my life.
Yeah.
And yeah. Oh yeah. From what I can remember, I just remember wanting to hold her hand and you know, those little kids. It's like, I just want to hold her hand and all that sort of stuff. We never kissed her. Never kissed.
How long were you together?
Until I'm pretty sure it only lasted like 2 months. It was like the end of the year, and then we went to different schools after that. But yeah. I remember she lived in my neighborhood. I think I went to her parents' place like once.
Oh.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
I mean, yeah, when you're a kid, you're oblivious to everything, so I just assume it went all right. I'm not sure what they thought about when their blue-eyed blonde-haired little girl brought this little black kid home from.
I bet you were the cutest kid too.
I like to think I was a cute kid. I had massive ears in like ratio to my head, so I was basically looked like a chimpanzee growing up.
Isaac. I'm sure that is not true. I'm sure you were the cutest little boy.
Mate, I've got picture evidence that I definitely look like I was in the primate.
I want to see these pictures.
I'll send them to you later.
Yeah, do it. I want to see these pictures. Okay, from that relationship of just holding hands, what happened after that? Did you play the field a bit when you were in high school? What did you do?
My next relationship came when I was 20.
Right.
Yeah, I got zero action at school. Like, mate, like when I tell you I was the shortest kid, I was the shortest kid, and everyone I looked like I was 4 years younger than everybody else. I was annoying as shit. Like I was an annoying kid. Like imagine this energy, but just in a smaller person that's, constantly got energy. I'm like a 36-year-old dude now, so age and all that setting in on me. But as a teenage kid, man, like I was annoying. I was annoying. I didn't have a lot of friends growing up. No, don't be sad for me. I had a great upbringing still. I had a great time.
Okay, so in that time then, did you have women or girls or whatever in high school that you liked?
Really thinking back, I didn't really have a crush on anyone. Obviously, you knew that, girls are pretty and all that there, but they weren't really my interests.
Yeah, okay.
I wasn't really interested in girls growing up at school. Like, I just wanted to hang out with what friends. Like, I can remember I had maybe 2 friends that I really hung out with in WA from high school.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I moved to Dubbo and did high school there, I only had one mate that I really hung out with in school. And we were too busy worried about drinking and partying to really worry about girls. Like, I think I hooked up with maybe like twice back then.
Yep.
Did not think about women at all. Like,
that's very respectful, though. Your parents must have done a good job, Isaac.
Yeah, I like to think they did a pretty good job.
Let's go to this 20, when you were 20. What happened when you were 20 then? So going from primary school relationship and then jumping to when you were 20, what happened there?
My parents ended up separating when I was 18, 19. And Mum moved to another town. Mm-hmm. I moved to said town, and there was this girl that lived there, and she was very pretty. She had a boyfriend at the time, and we did the sneaky, mm-hmm. and and she also had a kid, right? And we moved in together 3 months after we officially started dating. And
so you were 20 when that happened, right?
Yeah, I'm going to say 2021, around that age. Mm-hmm. And so, like, to go from being completely single all this time and then jumping into basically, into your own place with essentially a family, it was very, very, very daunting. And to have like zero relationship experience too. It was, look, when it was good, it was good. When it was bad, it was bad. It was a very, very toxic relationship, and I feel like everyone has to go through at least one of those in their life.
Yep.
Yeah. That nod looked like you've been through.
I've been through too many. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, that was the one for me, and that lasted 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, on off over the period of 5 years, I think.
Okay, so with the kid, now this is what I struggle with, right?
Yeah.
So I've had a relationship and dated a couple of guys with kids, and I've noticed that because I build a good rapport and relationship with the children, that is sometimes the thing that lingers the most with me. And because I miss the kids, I don't get to see the kids because they're not my biological children, because I don't have any kids. So I don't get the chance to see these beautiful children that I've, grown to love and build relationships with. How did you deal with that? Because I found that is a really, really difficult hurdle and phase of grief when a relationship breaks down.
How did I deal with it?
Mm.
Well, so all contact was cut off completely when we separated. So couldn't really do much about it. How I dealt with it, being a 25-year-old male with no responsibilities, I went and got blind drunk for a long, long time.
Sure.
Yeah. And back then, that's how I dealt with. I didn't really have a lot of tools to sort of fall back on with how to deal with a breakup and all that. So it was just, you drank until you forgot it. Generally, now when relationships end for me, I've got a bag of skills that I can reach into to help me deal with grief, and not just in relationships, in any hard times. Because I've had a bit of dealings with like depression over the years, so, and I've been able to equip myself with the tools and recognise the signs when I'm feeling a certain sort of way, and can bring myself back. But yeah. Let myself feel the feelings that I have to, so I can, essentially grieve. Yeah, move through them, and then
it's awful in the moment.
Happy.
Yeah, it's awful
absolutely.
in the moment, but I've found, I feel like I move through the emotions quicker when I face them head on than avoiding them.
Absolutely. It's like ripping a band. You got to rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah, you do. And
rip the Band-Aid off.
I was at my therapist this morning. I love to have a tune-up a lot of the time because I'm so used to being this, strong, independent person that I feel like I'm not able to lean on anybody, because in the past when I have lent on people, specifically romantic scenarios, when I have lent on people, it just hasn't worked.
Yeah.
So I've always gone, okay, well, I don't want to be a burden on anyone. I don't want to be stressing anybody out with how I'm going, how I'm feeling. It's best for me to just get an objective therapist, gives me constructive feedback, things I need to work on so that I can push forward and be that good support and help for the people that I love and care about. Yeah.
It took me a while to sort of find my friends that I can do that with. I've got a little core of really close mates that when I'm feeling down, I can reach out. I actually have a group chat. It's called Yarn Up.
Oh, that's nice.
It's me and two other brother boys, and I've known one of them since school.
Oh.
And we went to school together, and the other two played footy together, and we all sort of really click and got similar, we've gone through similar things, and we're roughly the same age, so we can have those real conversations with each other. And they've probably saved my life more times than that they actually know. But yeah, it's I know what you mean with like leaning on people, like you can be let down or you feel like you're burdening people too much. So
and people that's beautiful that you've got that group that you can do that, because I've got a handful of people that I can talk to and whatever, and they've been there for me through some real heavy shit, but I have this thing that everyone's busy, everyone's got stuff going on. I don't want to add to that whatever, do you know what I mean? So a lot of the time when I am like, fuck, I'm not coping, I need to talk to somebody, I just go, I'm going to book in my therapist, because I don't want to.
That's his job.
I don't want to be a pain in the ass to anybody,
I mean, at least we're
hard.
thinking of others. But I always find, like, if people aren't willing to listen, they're not really your friends, are they? You know what I mean? I will always reach out to friends and family first before I look, because I've done therapy in the past.
Mm-hmm.
I have done therapy in the past. It was good for me. I was medicated for a little bit in
Yeah, I
dealing
did
with
that in my
depression
early
and whatnot.
20s. Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess just found those people that I know will, if I reach out to them, they will pick up the phone, or they'll write back, or, you know, if they're asleep, they'll bring me back the first thing in the morning to check in on me and all
That's
that.
nice. That's
But I've
lovely.
literally, like, that group chat with those two boys, just sporadically they'll just shooting the message, welfare check, just to see how everyone's going.
That's
where you're
great.
at. Yeah,
That's excellent. That's
I've been lucky
really...
enough to have been blessed with those two blokes in my life, really.
Yeah, because I think that, should be more of a common thing. I think when I'm feeling like I need love and support, my knee jerk is to send all the people that are really close to me a message saying, love you, just letting you know I'm thinking about you. That's what I end up doing instead of going, I need some love and support right now. I end up sending out a message being like, I love you. Hope you're doing okay.
They're like, oh, I love you too. Inside, help me. Help me.
Yeah. I maybe need to change that habit. Let me
just say, like, hey, I'm not feeling too good.
Yeah. I don't know how to do that. I think because I'm so used to being, I'm good, I'm fine, I'll sort myself out. I think that's the problem there, Isaac.
You're like a couple of my friends that do the same thing. They don't want to burden other people. And then they'll go through something and I'll be like, why the fuck didn't you tell me that? Like, I didn't want to tell anyone. It's like, I don't care if I'm in the middle of getting laid. If I look over and see the message that says, hey, can I call you? I'll jump off, then I'll jump on the phone. Because I care about my friends.
That's nice.
My friends have been there for me through some of the hardest things that I've experienced in my life. So
yeah,
I'm always there to lend a ear.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Look, I don't want my friends hearing this going, fuck yeah, I was there for you for this, and this. What are you talking about? There have been some times where, yes, I have needed to lean on people that I love and adore, and they've been excellent. Let's go back to your last situation. So at 25, you were enjoying yourself as a newly no responsibility human being. What did that look like? How's your face?
What did that look? So I essentially, that's when I started started doing music. I left the place that we were living at, moved to Dubbo, got a job behind a bar, and the bar manager said, oh, I heard you were in a band years ago. And I was like, yeah. He's like, we're looking for some new talent, I guess, in Dubbo. Do you want to do some gigs here? And I was like, how much is it? He's like, $400. And I was like, I'll take it. Now, I had very minimal skills on playing the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And I could sing, but just playing the guitar. So I went home. So I rang my friend who I knew was also a musician, or who also was a singer, didn't really play guitar. And I said, hey, I just spoke to these guys and they said, if we want to start a duo, we can. Pays $400, it's $200 each. And she was like, fuck yeah. So we did that. We went home and we learned 60 songs really, really quickly. We practiced for a couple of days and then started that. And then it really sort of took off in the Central West. And I was getting gigs everywhere. I was a lot less fat back then. I had nicer skin. and I was basically fresh meat in the town, so I was getting a lot of, I guess, attention from females, and
Yeah.
yeah, so I wasn't in a relationship for a couple of years,
Yeah, you had a
and
good time.
I'd only been with 2 women in my entire life at that stage. So I thought I'd go out and explore the world, essentially.
Yeah, that's a good decision. Good decision.
Yeah.
It's a good decision,
And
Isaac.
I was throwing my budu over here, throwing my budu over there. It was hitting people in the face and on the legs and on the elbows. No, like, yeah, consensually.
I gathered that. So what did you learn, Isaac? From that time of your life, what did you learn? What would you do the same? What would you do differently?
What would I do the same? What would I do differently? Oh, look, I probably wouldn't have slept with as many people as I did.
Why not?
Because it was a lot.
Oh.
It was a lot. Yeah, it was a lot. I was a bit of a slut, really. Oh, look, I probably wouldn't have drank as much because I was partying a lot back then too. I probably would have saved more money. I probably wouldn't have done as much drugs as I did back then. Like,
yeah, but then you wouldn't have the stories that you have now, right?
oh, yeah, this is true. Like, yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have the story. Probably would have saved more money if I could go back and do it again because I was spending a lot of money on grog.
So what would you say overall, Isaac, is the best piece of love advice you have given?
My biggest piece of love advice, or speaking from my own personal experience, would be you have to love yourself before you can love anyone else. Because if you don't love yourself and like, you have to heal before you can essentially go out and try and love someone else. Because if you're holding trauma, you know,
Or not even aware of the trauma
or not even
that you're
aware,
holding
like,
on to.
Yeah, like you take that into a relationship, and if you're not happy within yourself, you know, it's doomed. Like you set yourself up to fail. So essentially, just love yourself and heal.
What has the best advice you've received been? Has anyone told you anything that's made you go, oh, yeah, that's cool. I'm going to remember that forever and put that into all of my relationships?
Yeah, really. It's be quick to listen and slow to speak.
I really like that.
Yeah. Listening is key instead of just, when you're like in a relationship setting, like listening to what your partner has to say before you react, really.
Yeah, it sounds so simple, and so many people just listen for the sake of, okay, I've listened to that. Now I'm going to reply with my experience so that they can hear what I've got to say, instead of, there is nothing I hate more, Isaac, than when I get asked a question about something personal, when a bloke is trying to get to know me and I'm sharing something vulnerable, and all they do is jump in and try and better the situation with the worst experience that they have had. I'm like, have you fucking listened to what I've said? Have you listened to what I've said? I'm looking for empathy, compassion, and understanding, and a bit of sensitivity, not you just jumping on what I'm saying and trying to up it so that you're the focal point of the fucking conversation instead of giving the other person some fucking airtime. Trust me nuts, I hate it.
I have been one of those guys in the past. Look, this is why I've been single for the past 4 years, 4.5 years, because a good person to be in a relationship with, really. It's really only been maybe like the last 5 years where I've sort of I grew up. Took me a while, but I got there eventually.
Some people continue to create and act out the same patterns all the time within relationships, and are unwilling to deconstruct and try and learn from them and do better next time, or they just love getting into this habitual pattern of destroying somebody else, and because they're not self-aware, or they're not willing to do the work to get themselves out of it. So the fact that you have acknowledged it, giving yourself the space to go, no, I actually want to do something different next time, is far above the bar of which is usually the way it goes.
Yeah. Oh, look, mate, I've probably gone too far. I'm at the point now where I don't think I want a relationship. I'm enjoying my time too much. I mean, and look, don't get me wrong, it would be lovely to have, a partner in crime, someone on the same wavelength that you can, that you can, or your offside of that'll always be there, and you can take on the world together. Yeah. I haven't found that person yet.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, I'm just enjoying being alone and doing what I have to do, and sort of, I'm still working on myself constantly. And I mean, my friends teach me stuff every day. They'll say things, and I will say things that'll like trigger certain mindsets that I hold, and I go, oh, never really thought about that situation in that way. I'll try and remember that next time that situation comes up. Yeah.
Well, that's good. But you're always going to be learning anyway.
Oh,
well, hopefully.
If you're not learning, if you think you know it all, you're a lost cause, essentially.
Or you're a fucking liar or a narcissist.
You're a piece of shit.
They're the options on the table.
Yeah.
Before I love and leave you, Isaac, what is your parting words of wisdom?
My parting words of wisdom. Oh, look, it would just be to love yourself and find your own happiness. Really, I heard Will Smith say it once. I know he's a topic of controversy, but I heard a bit of advice he said a couple of years back, and he was talking about like him and his wife and relationships and all that, and he said, no one else in this world can make you happy. It's your job. Like, you'll go out and try and find things that'll make you happy, like, whether it be women, cars, sports, sex, drugs, and rock and roll and all that. But stuff. Yeah, but nothing can. You're the only one that can make you happy. You're the master of your own universe. So, I guess find your happiness and love yourself. Really, beautiful. That would be my words of wisdom. Yeah, my words of wisdom.
Thank you.
And that's why I'm so happy, because I fucking love myself, man. I am my own screensaver. That's how much I fucking love myself.
Oh, I love it. That's
I
delightful.
have a picture of myself on the wall in my room because I fucking love me.
Well done. Well done. Thank you for being on the podcast. I've loved every millisecond.
The Bachelorette, with friends near and far, from heartache to catfish and sex toys. The Bachelorette and friends. See you next time, if you dare.
Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to AuscastNetwork.com for details.